Gentlemen, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is start a martial art. Now, that being said, they're also one of the scariest things that you can do. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about how you can push through and get through that initial phase of fear so that you can afford yourself the growth and the achievement that comes from being someone that does martial arts. Now, for the sake of ease in today's video, I'm going to refer to martial arts as Muay Thai because this is what I do. So, a year ago, basically today, I started my journey in a Muay Thai gym. I had a real sense of ego and anxiety that I wanted to get rid of, and a good friend of mine told me that a fighting gym would be a fantastic way to push through that and get to where I wanted to be with this. Now, immediately upon entering the gym, I realised exactly why it was that this was something that I had to incorporate on a long-term basis, and that's the premise of today's video. What is so good about martial arts? Just to start off, they teach you, for one, exactly where the ego should be. If you're someone with a lower ego where you don't really feel much of yourself, or you're someone with an inflated ego, which, let's be honest boys, you will be one of these two things, martial arts puts you exactly where you should be. They will teach you in fine detail what you're actually capable of, and in turn you will find a sense of value in yourself that is backed and authentic, which means that if you're someone who doesn't feel so good about yourself, you will have evidence of the fact that really you are someone of value and you're capable as a person. And if you're someone like me who had an inflated ego that really needed to come down, easy for me to say, you will be brought to where you should be, and in turn you won't make such silly, arrogant decisions. Martial arts are fantastic for bringing you to where you should be in terms of your valuing yourself to a good extent, I must add. Also, they put your body in a fantastic condition, which puts you further into this good feeling of oneself, and they make you realise in evident detail how capable you actually are as a person. They show you what you can endure, and they show you, for all the times that you might not feel so good about yourself, they show you something that you can always fall back on. If you're someone who goes into a fighting gym, you are, without question, above most people when it comes to grit, will, determination, discipline, and some very valuable attributes in oneself. You are almost definitely in the top percentile because most people don't do these. So with that being said, all the benefits and the positives that come from being in a gym, it can still be absolutely terrifying, as I know all too well, to start, even if you know all of these things. So how do you get into a gym and combat this fear? Now, just to lay the ground here, when I first stepped into this gym, I was terrified, and I really was terrified to the point where I actually struggled to get up off the floor and stop doing the stretches at the start because I really did not want to start throwing punches. I must add as well that one of the greatest fears that we can have when it comes to starting martial arts is if you're someone who doesn't know anything already, it can feel so emasculating because we feel as blokes that we should be able to throw a punch. We should be able to take care of ourselves. But the absolute truth is the only way we're ever going to know how to do this, as we should know how to do, is by going through the process of not knowing how to do it. If you do not know how to throw a punch, the only way to know how to is to accept that at this point in time, it's something you don't know how to do. And in turn, you can learn and you can train. So, first of all, recognise that the only way you can change the circumstance that is not beneficial to you right now is by going through a period in which comfort is not afforded. It is not guaranteed in this point. Discomfort will be what you experience. So knowing that, okay, I don't know what I'm doing in this place. This is a foreign place to me. These people all know what they're doing and maybe I don't. This is a fantastic thing to feel, and to know that you feel it is really going to help when you first get in there. Equally well, I think it's important to remember, because when I first started, I thought it was going to be some fucking big knuckleheads that were going to laugh me out of the gym within 5 seconds. This is a very common theme. A lot of people think this when they start, when they go to start, they think they're going to get laughed out of a gym. It will not happen. I will put all of anything that I could put on the fact that you will go in this gym and you will be surprised immediately with actually how kind and gentlemanly the people are in there. It's important to remember that everyone that's been in there started somewhere, and often there'll be people that started at an age where they were conscious enough to know they didn't know, so they had that fear and that apprehension, and they did it anyway. And believe me, when you know that someone is in that place of fear, you want to take care of them because you know how much you would have liked it when it was you in that position. And you're going to be surrounded by people like this. It's the essence of the gym. Now, this is all well and good, as I say, knowing that people aren't going to laugh you out the gym is fantastic, but this fear will still reside. And to this point, I think the best thing that you can do is find a gym which is piss easy to do. There is 100% wherever you live, there'll be multiple gyms near you or within distance of you to get to. So go on Google, find gyms near me, find Muay Thai gym near me, Jiu-Jitsu gym near me, Judo gym near me. I know my Judo well. And just any of them. Find any gym, they will teach you the fantastic lessons that martial arts do. And see what times they go. See what times you can do. And the second closest one to the one that's coming up is the one that you need to go and put yourself into. You need to tell as many people as you can that is what you're going to do. So, for instance, my gym does Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if I found out on Tuesday, say you're watching this video on Tuesday, and I think, there's one tomorrow, there's also one on Friday, go to the one on Friday. Do not throw yourself in straight away. Give yourself some time to know that this is something you're going to do. And in the process, and I say this might sound counterproductive, but if you say you look and you go, shit, there's one tonight, you will talk yourself out of doing that. So just give yourself the time to recognize the fear and go forth anyway. This is why you should tell as many people as you can. You say, I'm going to start martial arts on Friday, because you become now accountable and responsible to those people. And even so, you could text the gym themselves and say, look, thinking of coming in, what's the deal? Tell as many people as you can, because this will certainly put some impetus and onus on you actually fulfilling your word. Now, the ego and the fear that is dissolved as a result of stepping into these gyms is something that is really, it's quite something. I say, I was someone who was very egotistical when I first started, and I am more honest and more truthful and more candid than I've ever been as a result of martial arts. I firmly think that the attribute and the credit can be given to them, because they do teach you genuinely what your worth is as a person. Now, I don't mean this to say that the only thing you measure yourself on is whether you can punch someone or not. No, of course not. The point is, they teach you in fine detail how to delay gratification, take pain, push your limit, realize how much you can do more than you thought you can do. They commit you to something that is difficult, in the process creating positives in the future. And I might add, as someone who, when I first started the martial art journey, I thought just grit, fear, and brunt and get through it. No, they're actually quite fun. I'd say that is one of the funniest things of this, is you will become enthralled with them. It might take some time. It took me about 6 months, is when I started jiu-jitsu, that I actually found martial arts fun. But they will become something you actually want to do. It will become something that you really enjoy doing. It's almost guaranteed. It's something that a lot of people do. Now, I will also add, once you start martial arts, you can tell as many people as you like. You can tell as many people as you like that you do martial arts. You can show as many people pictures and videos and do whatever as much as you like. But stick to going to the sessions. It is so easy to start the first session and think, oh yeah, I've done it, well done. Which, if you go, well done. But it's so easy to stop there. You can't stop there. You have to continue going and continue doing it to really reap the rewards. And I will say, it is 100%, without any question, not a problem at all for you to feel a real intrinsic fear, a real frightening sense when you start these martial arts. I did a hard sparring session today, and I've been doing hard sparring for a few months now, and I was genuinely scared for this whole week. I didn't go because last week I was away, and this entire week I knew that hard sparring was coming up, and I was genuinely scared for the whole week. I was counting the days knowing, oh fuck, I know this is terrible, and I was scared. I was genuinely scared. Now you might ask, just on that point, if after a year you're still scared of doing it, then why are we doing this? And I'll tell you that the reason is, once I stepped out of that gym today, I knew exactly who I was. I knew exactly who I was, and I couldn't lie to myself about who I was. It's all too easy when you're someone that's, inclined to improve, to really self-deprecate and not feel good about yourself. And when you do something as difficult as this, you really know who you are. You can't tell yourself the bad story anymore, because it's so evident to you that actually, no, I'm not a lazy shit. Look what I did today. Look at this thing that I did. And the irrational negative voice that so many of us have is very well disposed of as a result of martial arts. It really does help to put yourself in good stride, to value yourself to a point where life becomes far more enjoyable. I will put it as honestly as that. You don't lie as much as well. I think because you realise, especially if you're someone who has an ego, because you realise that the ego you thought you had is not warranted and gets deflated so quickly, it makes you more honest as a person in general. Because you know now that, actually, something I thought I knew, I didn't know. And that's one of the things that we can all seemingly start with, is this belief that when shit goes down, we will be okay. And I'll tell you, as an impetus for you to start martial arts, if you find yourself in a bad position and you've never done anything, you will lose. You're going to have a real hard time, and it's not going to be fun. Now, I say this because I think actually, on just a general basis, it is very important that you know how to take care of yourself. If you know how to take care of yourself, one, you'll carry yourself in a much better way as to avoid getting into hairy situations. So often, I will see people who are sticking their chin out and shouting and walking down the high street as if they're the bollocks, and you can tell as a result of said behaviour that they're not the bollocks. And at one point, you will live to regret it. It's why I started my journey. And when you realise that, when you condition yourself to not be so arrogant, so out there, or when you realise, actually, no, I can be a bit out there because I can take care of myself, I'm all right. Life becomes a more enjoyable place to live. It becomes better to be a person when you know that you're competent. And I think that's a real point that I'll make here, is competency is a fantastic attribute that any form of martial art will give you, because you'll realise that you can take care of yourself. And on just a little bite-sized tangent here, when you put yourself towards taking care of yourself, knowing how to do that, be it cooking, be it shaping yourself up, making sure that your body looks good, making sure that you've got a nice haircut, making sure that you're well presented, when you know you can take care of yourself, there is really a quality of life that is afforded to you just simply by taking care of yourself on a natural basis of either paying bills or paying for the things that need to be paid for, is what I'm saying, or making your food, making sure that you can put food on the table for yourself, or fighting, or just taking care of your body. When you know that you can do that, there's really a feeling within yourself that is afforded. You feel good because you know that you can do that. You know you're okay with that. I think all too often people will walk around with a hyperinflated or hyper-deflated ego that is such a shame, because if you go into a gym, you will learn, you will enjoy it, and you will reap the rewards. I cannot stress enough that even if you're scared of going in, go in. You will really, trust me, you will enjoy it. You might not enjoy the first time, but you will enjoy it, and you will be glad that you did it. It's important to remember that the mind that is created as a result of doing martial arts is not the one that you yet have. But that is not to say that it's not one that will exist, and in turn, or won't exist, sorry. In turn, you need to know that the you who has that competency and that capability is someone who will certainly be afforded many more quality moments than if you don't. With that said, try a martial art. Take care, boys.